With that, we're live. Welcome. It's my glass is empty tonight. That's okay. I wanted to welcome everybody to the first stream of the new year. This is so awesome. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy to be streaming on a Tuesday. Welcome. This is obviously, for those of you who were here last week, this is the final product of what we finished last week. We finished this Unfold on stream, and I added this fun texture to it after the fact. And I think this turned out quite nice, honestly. I think there's some really fun shading in there. It's really clear how all the pieces sit together, and these patterns are free. You can grab them for yourself down below. So if you just came to see that, you've seen it. It's here. But if you came to stay for the Pepakura to unfold and to check out the unfolding contest we did, please stay tuned. Hey, Melvin, welcome to the stream. So we finished up this Green Goblin, and I gotta tell you, I'm really quite happy with it. All the edges are kind of where they should be, and I'm hoping we can do something a little bit with that, with some of the stuff that we got going on tonight. So we'll get this out of here. We'll get it out of here. Put it down, and we'll start off by just going through. There were only 2 submissions for the unfolding contest, which I don't know if we'll do another. But I will say, to the people who did submit, it was super cool, and I had a lot of fun kind of getting to see the process of like what you put together and what you would get out of this, which is really fun for me. So we'll start off with Steinersaurus's edit from our Discord. This model is actually just free in our Discord, so everybody had a chance to unfold it as they like. Hat is not unfolded. Just get a hat. That's amazing. So somewhere over here there is a hat. It's actually pretty well unfolded, to be honest. I'm kind of surprised you abandoned it, because it's pretty unfolded as far as finishing it goes. You did a good job. It's got a pretty clear hook to it. The patterns seem like they more or less try to follow the contours. It's very impressive. But yeah, so we just got the face. We got the face and we got the beard. And this is, if nothing else, super well defined, I would say. Like, you have a really clear set of where the forehead is here, and the cheeks are here, and around the nose is there. It's a mustache. It's part of the beard. Like, this looks really good. I think that it's not the cleanest it could be, but, like, that's not necessarily the point of what this is. This was very clearly meant to just sort of marshal the pieces into a pattern. And there is a pattern here. And I think that you could produce a really nice foam version, especially of the beard, using this unfold. And I'm really quite impressed by that. So hats off to you, sir. I think if I were to be overly critical, it would only be in service of the fact that I think you're underestimating how much of that cheek and nose you would be able to get with heat forming. I would probably have turned this into slightly fewer cuts, just because I think, especially in like 5mm, maybe even 4mm, you could get a pretty detailed face. You can just heat that up and just mold that sucker into the jolliest cheeks possible. So you know what? Maybe I give unfolding this a shot tonight on stream before we dive into some more of our witchery stuff, which we have sort of for the back half. Well, let's go ahead and look at the other unfold. The other unfold was by Atomic Outlaw. He didn't upload his patterns. He uploaded a photo of his patterns. So here it is. I think that this is perhaps a little closer to a paper unfold, but I will say it does 2 things that I really, really love. The first is that he unfolds that, and I really wish you would have gone for it, Steinosaurus. I like, yeah, you can just get a hat, but also it's like a big mask thing. It's it's a challenge. Go for it. But 2, I really actually quite like the way that the beard is sort of a piece with a hook in it, instead of like 3 bands that you would glue together. Just because I know big U shapes take up a lot of space on the foam, like on foam mats. which is a huge problem if you're trying to produce something over and over and over again. It's one of the reasons I really like my Dr. Fate helmets, because especially if you're making 2 of them, you can hook the pattern into itself and it slots together pretty nicely. You save a lot on space there. So that's always something to be thinking about. And of course, like I said, the hat is unfolded. I wonder, I'm just looking a little closer. Oh, I kind of like the way the ball has been done there. It's clearly like a series of the football shapes we talk about when we're talking about spheres. So kudos, that's really impressive. Yeah, I think that this could have gone a lot further, but I think Steinosaurus's edit is a lot closer to what I would call a completed unfold. I am tentatively gonna call this for Steinosaurus and his edit. I think he did a good job. I really like a lot of the overall shapes. I especially like the beard shapes. Like, the shapes of this are very clear to me. Like, I love that I'm looking at this right now and I can see where the mustache goes, how it fits into this piece. And even just sort of the way it's put together, I can kind of see, where it's supposed to meet all this other stuff. So, you know what? Hats off to you, man. I'd say you ran away with it. But what if I were to throw my hat in the ring? What would I do? Well, let's go ahead and make sure all of our lines are painted in again. So we'll just paint all those back in. Boop. See, it's a much more complex model than I think these unfolds give it credit for. And I think that's a very telling point, which is that these models, that time and care was taken to marshal these things into place. And that's an important thing. We're not going to save the text objects. We're not going to apply the open edge. We're just going to center this guy here and do, just a little bit of light unfolding before we dive into some even nerdier stuff. Somehow even nerdier than just doing unfolding for the sake of unfolding. Obviously, we start right away by sort of getting rid of the edges of our Santa hat. We separate it out into a space where we can really get in there and work on all the parts that we want to. There is clearly an interior edge there, which we want to be very careful about. Boop. Dum-ba-dum-ba-dum-ba. Christmas is over, but I'm not over Christmas music. Here we go. Let's see. Actually, I bet if I go... If I keep this edge on here, I actually think it'll make a great flap for sort of layering the bottom band of the hat onto this thing. Nope, not single edge I wanted. I wanna be in the cavalry to send me off to war. I want a good steed under me like my forefathers before. And I want a good mount when the bugle sounds and I hear the cannons roar. I wanna be in the cavalry to send me off to war. I want a horse and a volunteer force that's riding forth at dawn. Please save for me some gallantries that'll echo when I'm gone. And I beg of you, Sarge, let me lead the charge when the battle lines are drawn. Let me at least leave a good hoofbeat they'll remember loud and long. I'd not a good foot soldier make a be sour and slow at march. And I'd be sick on a navy ship and the sea would leave me parched. But I'll be first in line if you let me ride, by God you'll see my starch. Look back for the heath and the laurel wreath underneath that victory arch. There we go. I wanna be the cavalry to send me off to war. I want a good steed under me like my forefathers before. And I want a good mount when the bugle sounds and hear the cannons roar. I want to be in the cavalry to send me off to war. Here we go. Just sort of hooking those big round shapes into their own place here. All right. All right. Hey, baby, listen up to understand the tasty thing my body demands. Such a fine cuisine, I'm gonna tell you what I mean. I don't want French fried potatoes, red ripe tomatoes. I'm never satisfied. I want the frim fram sauce with the arson fay and shifafa on the side. I don't want pork chops and bacon. That won't awaken my appetite inside. I want the frim fram sauce with the arson fay and shifafa on the side. Now a fella's really got to eat, and a fella should eat right. 5'll get you 10. I'm gonna feed myself right tonight. I don't want fish cakes and ripe bread. You heard what I said. Waiter, please serve mine fried. I want the frim fram sauce with the arson fay and shifafa on the side. Now listen up, you gotta understand the tasty thing my body demands. Oh yeah, a succulent cuisine, gonna tell you what I mean. I'm gonna get a bite when I get me some tonight. Now a fella's really got to eat, and a fella really needs to eat right. 5'll get you 10. I'm gonna feed myself right tonight. Okay, I like the way this looks so far. I think we're going to basically go back in now and do the beard. I think the hat is more or less unfolded. Let's run around the edge here. You know, in a different world where I wasn't so attached to this texture, I would probably be going through and actually smoothing over some of these edges, because some of these edges are more complicated than we need to recreate this, if that makes sense. Like, these shapes are clearly meant to be sort of rounded over and smoothed over, etc. So I wouldn't feel bad, per se, about going through and smoothing them over, since the construction of it is going to smooth everything over as well. And here's where we kind of get into the nitty-gritty. This man and his huge nose in front of me. God. Sometimes I do look at myself and just wonder, what are you doing? What are you doing with your life? There we go. Look for the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Forget about your worry and your strife. I mean the bare necessities, Mother Nature's recipes that bring the bare necessities of life. Wherever I wander, wherever I roam, I couldn't be fonder of my great home. The birds are buzzing in the trees to make some honey just for me. Look under trees and rocks and plants and take a glance at the fancy ants, and maybe try a few. The bare necessities of life will come to you. Yeah. That looks great. Sorry, just rearranging the directionality of some of these so that when we go through, we experience a more smoothed out line. Come on, where is it? I actually can't see it from the inside. That sucks. Okay. There's that, and there's the edge. Whew! That's weird. Don't like that. Don't like that very much at all. Okay, let's see. Comes across to there. Comes across to here. There it is. Perfect. Perfection. Okay, yeah, that's way better. And I like this because I like the big band across the cheek. I think that'll be really effective in terms of shaping. For this, his brow is sort of delineated. Like his eyebrow itself is actually sort of delineated in this model. So we'll kind of go in and just grab it, you know? There's kind of a ridge here. Our song was a song of tomorrow. Our hearts were as high as the sky. But songs are forgotten and skies often gray. Nevertheless, there is this I can say. From the first hello to the last goodbye. It's been awfully nice to know you. So excuse the parting sigh, and I'll watch you go with my head held high. You've been dear and sweet, a pleasure to meet, a special treat, say I. From the first hello to the last goodbye, to the last goodbye. Sweet Adeline, my Adeline, each night, dear heart, for you I pine. In all my dreams, your fair face beams. You're the flower of my heart, sweet Adeline, my Adeline, my fine. Oh. Okay, I think... Yeah, that's more or less it. I'll separate that there and there just for sort of posterity, and obviously this is the point that edge comes to. That's pretty clear to me there. God, I almost want it to come to a flat edge there. But that doesn't seem right, and that doesn't seem how faces work, so I'm gonna keep it like this. There we go. Oh, and I've got to delineate the mustache from the mouth. Because this does actually creep all the way up to, like, the mouth area. And I do sort of like that about this. The edge we don't need, so we can get rid of the edge on the inside. Okay. There's an underside to the mustache, which I will probably ignore for the most part as well. Which sort of is right here. Nobody cares about under the mustache. Nobody cared who I was till I put on the mustache. Here we go. Let's... Whoop. Got there. Yeah, let's separate the mustache out entirely, like that. Like so. Yeah. It seems today that all you see is violence in movies and sex on TV. But where are those good old-fashioned values on which we used to rely? Oh, lucky there's a Family Guy. No, I am going to steal something from Steinosaurus's edit, which is I liked the delineation of this shape right here. The, like, hook of the beard. I think that would be extremely effective from a building standpoint. So I'm going to just straight up steal it like that. Lucky there's a man who positively can do all the things that make us laugh and cry. He's a Family Guy. I think 13 inches might be too much. Let's call it 12. Just an even 12. Here we go. And let's pull this across. Having used the 3D window, we shall now attempt to show off the model, but also keep it in frame. I've been trying to be more mindful of that. I know that it has, some of my recent videos have suffered from me being fully in the way, and I am trying to fix that, I swear to God. Here we go. Alright, already you can sort of see this, and you can see where it's inspired from, what elements from those other builds we've just stolen outright. Obviously, I am unfolding the hat. So we have big hat piece number 1 right here. There we go. I can't quite see it because it's red on red. There we go. God, it's almost just terrifying without all this texture. Good lord. Okay. Alright, there we go. That seems sort of like the top of the hat here. Yeah, that works. How could you believe me when I said I loved you when you know I've been a liar all my life? I've had this reputation since I was a youth. You must have been insane to think I'd tell you the truth. How could you believe me when I said we'd marry when you know I'd rather hang than have a wife? I know I said I'd make you mine. How could you believe me go for that old line? Oh, how could you believe me when I said I love you when you know I've been a liar? Nothing but a liar all my doggone cheating life. Ooh, look at that. Sort of trying to preserve those outer edges a little bit more. Yeah, it's sort of making up some space there, not trying to change the shape too much, but I think we get there. And see how this sort of woodges together there. I might. I suppose it depends. How I actually might separate this even more, because this, I'm seeing that this actually wants to lay even flatter like this. Yeah, that's those wedges are way better than the ones I was producing before. So, you know, maybe there's something to be said about that. Yeah, that's where is it? There it is. Whew, I was like, where's the edge? Why am I having trouble with this? I think, yeah, that's more or less what we're looking for here. Go. Yeah, that looks about right there. So then we got like a couple pieces that I've sort of mapped out as sort of like the interior hooks of these curves. From a foam building standpoint, that will make a lot more sense than some of the shaping that was going on a moment ago. But it does produce some weird results in like the more intense parts of it. Well, does it wedge together? That's, I think, the really important thing. And yeah, I'm inclined to say it does, more or less. Unless this is, like, somehow better this way, question mark? That shape does make some sense. Oh, it is better that way. Then we will keep it that way. Haha. And then there's just a couple more shapes on the front of the hat. There it is, the front of the hat. Boom, boom. There we go. Joining those edges and getting it to where it needs to be. Yeah, that looks pretty darn good. And see how it just sort of sits up where this crook sort of starts, and yeah, and that just rests in there. That's perfect. Oh, and looks like there's one more piece right there. Might put that on this one. Never mind. It makes more sense right here. Sorry, the geometry was a little fraught. I wasn't quite sure what I was looking at there for a moment. But there, that's about what we're getting. And we'll separate it right there. Hat. Oh, and of course the ball of the hat is here somewhere. Here we go. And this is kind of what I was thinking was, especially because it's so small, maybe trying to reduce it to like maybe 4 bands, maybe 3 bands instead of 6 bands. I think that could be useful, perhaps. Here we go. Yeah, because I'm not sure it actually ends. I don't think this sphere terminates. I think it's actually open at the top. So I'm trying to separate it in a way that is maybe. Oh no, it does. It does terminate. Never mind. I was mistaken. I made assumptions I should not have. Here's the other thing. If the pattern that I create isn't a perfect sphere, if it's a little oblong, I might be okay with that, given that it's like Santa's hat and not, I don't know, a thermal detonator. Like that's different. You know, it's not a machined piece of work. Oh, good. That is actually separated the way I wanted it to be. And then for the middle band, we'll basically just rock it back and forth between those two to create a straight-ish line. Straight-ish. Yeah, look at that. Now this band just goes between these two circles, and that's life. Or if you chose, we could probably turn this into two circles basically that we cut out. Or four. Oh, actually, that's a way better way to do this. We can turn this into 4 pieces. We just got to do it this way, I think. Unless, yeah, there we go. Sorry, I'm gotta be thinking in 3 dimensions here, and that's harder than I think I'm prepared to think sometimes at the end of a long day. So now, if we go like this, what we've got are 4 identical pieces. It's important to note that they are identical, that look like their own little football, basically. And actually, you can kind of see it as you sort of turn them sideways here. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. 4 identical pieces that make up that sphere of 6 wedges. So that's... Ooh, that feels good. Okay, let's get to the face part. Let's see here. I'm looking at back of the beard, which I agree with both of them is generally kind of like a useless part in terms of building this thing, because you're just going to have so much beard. That's so much beard at this point. That is over constructing the piece. Do you hear the people singing the song of angry men? It is the music of the people who will not be slaves again. When the beating of your hearts echoes the beating of the drums, there is a life about to start when tomorrow comes. Will you join in our crusade? Who will be strong and stand with me? Beyond the barricade, is there a world you long to see? Then join in the fight that will give you the right to be free. Who will... What is it? If someone stood up in a crowd and raised his voice up way up loud and waved his arms and shook his leg, you'd notice him. If someone in a movie show yelled fire in the second row, this whole place is a powder keg, you'd notice him. And even without clucking like a hen, everyone gets noticed now and then. Unless, of course, that person it should be invisible inconsequential me. Cellophane, Mr. Cellophane, should have been my name. Mr. Cellophane, 'cause you can look right through me, walk right by me, and never know I'm there. I don't know. Anybody got a song suggestion? I'm floundering here. I'm dying up here. Go. There we go. Look at that. That looks pretty good. I think we're even now. Equal, even? Yeah, I think so. There we go. Beard and stash. Can we get stash? I think we can get stash here. It's pretty good. That is under the nose. Yep. I don't want to join it there. I'd actually rather join it pretty much anywhere else. There we go. That's where it is. Because that's almost the actual bend of the mustache. Whereas this is more in a different place. Ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-da-dum, Look at that. Big bushy stash, got the whole dealio there. It's working. It's working. Okay, here we go. The ladies love the mustache. Trust the stash. There we go. I know it looks kind of ridiculous at this scale in this way, but I swear this would probably be exceptionally easy to build, especially with this mustache as one piece here. Because then you just shape it. That's it. You probably wouldn't even need heat form it. You could sand it into shape, basically. God. Just hear those sleigh bells jingling, ring ting tingling too. Come on, it's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you. Outside the snow is falling and friends are calling you. Come on, it's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you. Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, let's go. Let's look at the show. We're gliding in the wonderland of snow. Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, it's grand, just holding your hand. We're gliding along with a song of wintry fairyland. Our cheeks are nice and rosy and comfy cozy are we. We're snuggled up together like two birds of a feather would be. Let's take that road before us and sing a chorus or two. Come on, it's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you. And I know this does look kind of monstrous now. This awkward Frankenstein's nose part. But this too is actually a fairly simple way of doing this, where you've got two bulging pieces for the end of the nose that just sort of fold together. And now, we can actually see that this comes together. Ooh! Oh, I'm really quite happy with that. Ooh, but we need to do that, I think. There we go. And then where is the top of his nose? What on earth? Okay. Probably, yeah, we'll need to do something like that there. Ooh. Does it want to tidy up? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. That's such an aggressive curve right there. Ooh, it isn't. It is a harsh angle. Oh, it's because it goes forward quite deeply there. Well, that we might just need then to sort of leave it there. Force it to harshly abut itself, kind of like that. But that is still a pretty easy. I mean, I suppose actually I could just take this off and add it up here. That's not a bad option actually. Yeah, let's do that instead. Yes. Yes. Dun 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 dun. I keep opening settings accidentally because I have the Windows key. God dang it. There we go. Yeah, that'll be great. And of course, then that just goes in there. We got like the sort of weird snake nose piece just sort of appearing there. Yeah, yeah. Oh, there's another band to this. Okay, that's fine. This is mostly hidden by the mask, so if it's woodged a little bit on the outer edge, I'm okay with that, frankly. Just make sure that looks pretty good. Yeah, it still looks pretty good. Okay. Bam. Okay, so I am basically going to just finish unfolding, like, the nose and this inner eye piece, and then we're going to call it good. I will probably finish this and release them, that you may enjoy them next year. And or if you need a Santa mask till then. So here's the nostril. But this sort of being the idea of how I would go around doing this. There we go. Boop. This is sort of the under nose piece. Is this supposed to be symmetrical? No, it's one nostril. It doesn't need to be symmetrical at all. Goes up and under there like that. In fact, when I go to adjoin it, it's going to look gnarly. But that is more or less how I want it to look. And then we've got the inner eye. And the inner eye just sort of is. Oh, man. Okay, let's turn the shader back on so I can kind of see what I'm doing. Ironically, that's probably about as close as that's going to get to clean and clear. Nope, don't want that. In fact, I think this is all of the geometry we have / need. Yeah, basically, stick to that to this. Might need to layer the eyepiece here, just because that's such a harsh angle. But I think we still wind up with something that's pretty clear. So this goes up and over that, like this. Nests into that. Boom. Boom. And instead of these kinds of pieces where it's like 3 bands that have to sort of woodge together into one curve, we've got large singular bands that just stick together to create big sweeping sections of the face. And with that, I think we're going to call this section of the stream done, because of course this doesn't need to be unfolded, and the rest of this, except for this, I need to figure out what that is. Oh, that's just the very front of the hat. My bad. Except for the very front of the hat there, the rest of this is just an equal side of that face. And of course the deedly bobs on the inside that we also don't care about. Hardy har har. And so, yeah, we're going to come to sort of the end of this part of the stream. And we're going to call this good in terms of our foam armory Santa head. Sweet. Congrats to both Steinosaurus and Atomic Outlaw. I think as a fun reward for for applying, just because there were the two of you, I think if you two would like to pick out like one of my premium helmets, I'd probably just give you one of my premium helmet templates for free. I think that sounds like a pretty good reward for winning the for winning the contest. And frankly, since there were only two of you, I'm more than happy to give you one as well, Outlaw. So congrats, and maybe we'll do another one of these. Maybe we'll do another one of these with another opportunity to win for you folks. For now, let's pop over to... No, you didn't join at the last bit. We have more to do tonight. We finished up the Santa head, and now we are actually going to look at a cold look at somebody uploaded. I think it was Dizk uploaded what he says are some files of the Witcher's armor from season 2 of Netflix, and I was super interested in that. But I didn't want to spoil it for myself, and I was like, oh, well, what happens if we look at them on stream? We just cold look at them and see what's up. So we're gonna open those up and see what we can do with them. And maybe there's nothing we can do with them. Maybe we just spend the stream, looking for some Pepakura files. That could be useful. So let's find out. Let's open up. So we got Geralt's torso, shoulder, abs, and forearm. And I found a couple of other things, but I haven't looked at this armor yet. Let's start with the torso. What is the torso? Oh, it's like the very upper section of that armor. This is pretty good. I mean, it's all the shapes are there. It's pretty clear. But I have to wonder. I really have to wonder. Hey, look, little logo, Dizk. What does it say? Dizk. Facebook.com/Dizk. Dizfiles. Okay, sweet. Well, this is pretty cool. I am, it's not perfect, but it is free, which is a huge deal, right? Like, whether it's perfect or not, just this being a base for your templates and being free is a huge deal. So let's see what we can do with them. We're gonna undo the unfold. We're not gonna apply the open edge. We're going to center this guy. And let's see, the armor itself is actually very like molded, sculpted, like leather sculpted. And so for that kind of a look, adding pieces together tends not to achieve it. You actually want to sort of carve it out of one piece, because that is what sculpted leather armor is. You're stretching it and heating it, and you're boiling it in some cases to get it to retain the shape, rather than cutting a bunch of different pieces and layering them to look like muscles. So instead, we should, I feel, let's check how many objects this is. Oh, this is a lot of objects. What's going on? Okay, so that's his logo. That's also his logo. Oh, this is the bands on the outside. This is all of the circles. Oh, and then we're left with the base. This is the base armor. Okay, that actually makes a fair amount of sense for a straightforward file like this. So let's... Since there are bands that go through the middle there, let's split it up the middle like this. Because we would hide that with detail anyways. And is there a same thing in the back? Hang on. There is. So we're actually going to split it up the middle and the back, and that's it. So we're going to get two sides of this thing. And I'll probably split it under the arm as well, just because there's almost no way I'll get that flat otherwise. It'll just sort of be messy. So instead, I don't actually want to remove any more of this. I kind of want it all, or I'm going to try and get it all into a flat piece. So this is really all I'm going to do for that. Let's go back to these guys, and I'm going to split them in places that they would not be covering, where they would not be covering a seam, so that there's a contiguous thing going on in other places. Or actually, I suppose it could do it, because then you could do it flat, maybe. Oh, let's try that. Let's try that instead. I know what I said originally, but, you know, we lie. I don't know. Let's find out. Okay, so, and then, of course, all of these are little circles, and they are circles. They are more cosmetic for this file. Like, I'm not going to go through and, like, set all these circles on this thing. You guys can do that yourselves, frankly. So let's unfold this as it is here. Yeah, maybe 16 inches. 18 feels like a lot in terms of height, just because it's like just from or like about the top to mid section of the ribs up. That doesn't feel like 18 inches. Hello, Jimmy the Stick. Oh, hey, look, it, like, marshaled all the circles and oblongs into kind of one spot. That's nice. Oh, and here's Diz's logo. That's okay. We're not going to put that on the file. We'll label the file as discs. And that'll be that. So here we go. We've got the two sets of bands that go across the front and back on the insides, and then we've got the arm edges as well. Pretty clear, pretty straightforward. We might choose to put some of this together a bit more. Like for instance, I'm not 100% sure, but I think this is the front. So if we wanted to, we could just do that, and depending on how that looks, yeah, we could just do it like this, basically. Oh, is that just one in the back? Really? I'm surprised. What? Is that for real? No, it's not. There we go. Okay, yeah. This goes like this? Yeah, that. There we go. Yes, there we go. So, I mean, we could leave it like that if we wanted to have just the fewest open edges as possible. But that might be a waste of space, to be perfectly frank. I suppose we can kind of codify that a little bit later. I mean, because you could if you were jeez. Whoa. You could, if you were to do it this way, sort of tuck these guys up in here, and then you could take all of these little circles and sort of fit them in to sort of fill up the space. If you were doing them all out of like 2mm foam. But I think that also just would be a huge imposition on your time when you could just go get a bunch of tacks. Like, at some point, you have to value your time. Like, you could go through, make all of these tacks out of little circles of 1 to 2mm foam. But why? Why? Just go buy a bunch of circles. It's so much cheaper. Like, I understand having very little money, but there's a difference between having very little money and having no money. If you're having no money, yeah, go do this to the best of your ability, spending no money. I get that. But if you're just trying to spend very little money, at some point you have to value your own time. You have to. Okay, let's see here. Okay. Yeah, there we go. We got sort of one side here. What we'll probably do is we'll unfold one side. I'll kind of walk through how I would use the template, then we'll sort of move on to the next one so that I'm not here all night. But we will get a lot done. And, you know, this stuff will be, these will be free unfolds. I like doing free unfolds. It's been a while since we've done sort of a bigger project as a free unfold, so I'm excited to sort of put that back out into the universe again. It's been a hot minute. I don't know, I've just been so busy. I didn't realize how much time I was actually putting into this, but until I went back to a full-time job. That's on me. It really is. Sweet Adeline, my Adeline, each night you heard. There we go. My mother used to say fabrications never pay. It's a sin to tell a lie, tell a lie. How could you believe me when I said I love you when you know I've been a liar all my life? I've had this reputation since I was a youth. You must have been insane to think I'd tell you the truth. How could you believe me when I said marry when you know I'd rather hang than have a wife? Are you still playing Republic Commando? I haven't been playing Republic Commando. I haven't been playing much of anything, to be perfectly honest. Other than D&D. I've been playing quite a bit of D&D lately. Actually, I just started running Curse of Strahd. And I'm also playing through a one-shot that a friend of mine is running, where I'm playing a very high-level sorcerer arcanist dude in Pathfinder. We play a lot of Pathfinder and D&D 5e, actually. But no, I haven't had a chance to play a bunch of Republic Commando. I really want to finish it still. Maybe, I don't know. It depends on how tired I am. Maybe this Thursday I sit down, we try to finish Republic Commando, and make way for what will inevitably be some more games. I've actually been playing some other games with friends. I don't know if anybody here is familiar with the Dark Pictures anthology, but they're like horror story games. I find them very fun, and you know they're compelling to me. The amount of storytelling it takes, it reminds me of playing Dungeons and Dragons in a way that I find very, very fulfilling, frankly. Let's see here. How closely can we wedge this stuff together? It's not bad. Just not a lot of good opportunities to kind of push the pieces back together. But I don't necessarily know if we need that many more, because now that's pretty darn close. I'm actually really impressed by how close that is. Now that's all one contiguous piece there. It's really just right up here. Right up here is where the problem is. So kind of scooch that together, and then if we want, I bet this'll be, oh, that's gonna be too big there. I can see it. I'll do it, but like just to demonstrate that, yep, that's worse there now, but not down here. Up here, this is pretty together. Maybe, is that close enough? I don't know. Feels like it wouldn't be. Yeah, okay. Okay, so I think what I need to do is sort of get this in its own spot so that I can do something like maybe that. We're close. I can feel that this is close. Oh man, I'd say that that's gonna be super close, but maybe that just the top one or maybe the second one too. Yeah, okay. Wait, how did this get worse? This was working a second ago. Hang on. We're smarter than this. Okay. That should fix that problem again. Okay, cool. Cool. I'm about to do something that I know in my soul is not the best thing in terms of pattern making, but it will fix this problem. And I try to reserve it for when I really just can't get it to work. Oh, I was so close there. Did you see? It got all the way up to just the one undone. So, okay, I'm going to do it. 2D menu, we change the scale. Set scale down to like 5 inches tall. Join adjacent edges. Perfect. I did it. Awesome. So yeah, that's how I would do that, and then I would erase and sort of get just some undercuts for that peck shape, and in that way we end up with a pattern that is much simpler. It's basically 2 pieces and then some banding. You wouldn't even necessarily need to use this. You could just cut inch thick strips and just run it around the edges and do the center and the back. That's really all you got to do. But oh, whoops. Control save. Woo-hoo-hoo. That was close. Okay, so now that we've looked at the very top of the torso, let's take a quick peek at the other stuff, see if there's more we can really do. It's the shoulders. Actually, the shoulders are more or less how I would unfold them. I will probably go through and fix that these edges are a little wonk. But yeah, no, just half pieces going down, half pieces going down. I probably won't include this little piece of strap. That feels excessive in terms of Pepakura to foam. You can make straps. You're adults. For the most part, I believe. Let's see, the shoulders, I probably won't do much to. I'll probably do some light editing to bring it more in line with the way I unfold the torso. Let's look at the forearm. Same dealio. This is pretty much the way I would do it. Unless let's take a quick look at the actual armor. Witcher armor, Netflix. Season 2. Let's take a quick look at the armor itself, because the first season looked a little bit more Witcher 3 like base armor versus this. You know, the plate looks a little more impressive, I'd say. Let's see. You know, I might actually go back in and reintroduce those lines across here, because I actually think it's even more banded than this template is giving it credit for. Like, even this guy, which is sort of just the central one, I would probably go back in and reintroduce those lines so that we could, yeah, so we could have that, because that is more of what it looks like. This ultra banded piece. I think we can give ourselves the gift of some more detail there. We won't save that for now. That's about all I'd probably do there. And then we have abs. There are abs. Oh. Yeah, that's pretty good. I think I want to do something to the actual model here. This is me being picky, I know. But I'm going to round over those ab sections. Oh, they're just sitting next to it. Oh, I shouldn't complain because it's free, but oh man, that's a bummer. Okay, these are pretty cool. I like that these are built on top, but oh man, that's just a bummer. Oh, you know what we're gonna have to do with this guy? I am gonna go into Blender and merge these 2 pieces together, because like, look, that's just got edges floating in the middle of nowhere. That's not useful. I hate to ding it because it's free, but I am going to go into Blender. I'm going to fix this model. I'm going to stick these 2 parts together and make sure that the vertices and the edges actually just meet, because on a sculpted leather piece like that. The same thing I was talking about. This all has to be pretty contiguous. I would be setting these things next to each other otherwise. So maybe that's what we kind of do either next week or maybe I do it later this week. We'll see. With the amount of busy I've been, it'll probably be next week. But we're well on our way. There will be latent Christmas content, and as always, I want to just take a quick moment to thank all of our patrons. And if you find some cool Witcher stuff out there, please send it my way. I would love to do some more Witcher stuff. That would be so much fun. But as always, I have to thank my patrons. They rock. Unknown, Andrew Valente, Gabriel Encia, Sam the Man, Suit Up Props, Laura, Ruben, Wilson Ferreira, Matt G, K-Snake, and Austin of AJ Plays Piano. Thank you all so much for your support of the channel. If you would like to support the channel yourself, you can consider supporting us on our Patreon or through our Etsy store down below. All that stuff just goes back into the shop. I love doing this stuff, and I love showing it off. So check that out. And in the meantime, check out some more free stuff down below. Like we said at the beginning, we finished our Green Goblin from last week, added a funky, fresh texture to it, and those templates are totally free down below. As I think some Phase 3 Clone Trooper helmet stuff. So, check it out. Click around. There's tons of free content, more tutorials and things. So, stick around. If you're not subscribed, consider subscribing. We're on our way to 2,500 subscribers or something like that. That's kind of cool. That's neat. But for now, I have been Jaden, and as always, take care.